Oh, my ad's finished. Need a vibe. Let me fix that. Oh. There's that. Okay, back to what I do. I took a full week off to just be a degenerate gremlin and play World of Warcraft. I'm not gonna tell you guys how long I went without like proper food, hydration, and a shower. But we are gonna jump back into some Minecraft, which again is still centered on World of Warcraft. I might have a sickness. This might actually be a legitimate sickness, but Belligerous, get IO. I need gear. I need gear. I'm this close to getting one shot. If I get smacked by Swamp Face in a 12, I will get one shot. I need my 2-piece. But my 4-piece. My 4-piece before I do that. I didn't realize I put that at the south. We're gonna go out to a corner over here. How are you doing, Illy? I can't get IO in Minecraft, and that's all I stream. I don't stream World of Warcraft yet. You're doing keys? That's fair enough. This is an easy vibe for you to listen to while you're doing keys. I need to find a DPS that I can play so you can carry me in keys. And so I can carry you in keys and you don't die. I need to see if I'm actually any good at ret. That's what I should do. I should check out the ret stuff and see if it's as zug as old Havoc used to be. Old Havoc was super easy. I miss BFA Havoc, and it still exists. It just does like half the DPS potential of the current Momentum and Eldrazi build, and I don't like the Momentum Eldrazi build because I'm not good at it. And also, Havoc is feeling kind of substandard. Even though our best Havoc players are like hurting. Poor Sultan. Alright, so let's see. I built an abbey of Northshire. I built trees for the forest. I now need to go find a small corner of this world to start building mountains and painting and figuring out what we do after this. Is this anything? Is that just unloaded? Oops, it's just unloaded chunks. Track lacking. So let's, I guess like out here, if I just teleport there. We're gonna let these chunks load a second. On that way out there, that's Distant Horizons at work over there. This is quite a distance out though. We'll see if we start encroaching on this. I don't think we will. Oh, I do need to grab, teleport here. I need to grab a blueprint of this bad mamma jamma. Let's see. I remember how to do this. Box select. No, actually, I can just do a magic select. Solid is why I build everything in the sky, so I can do that. And does that grab everything? I definitely didn't grab my candle up here. Box select. Grab this. To grab anything that's not in there. I hope it didn't forget anything else. Maybe I'll do the magic select again, but this time a block. I don't know why the magic select, but the solid doesn't consider that part of the solid, but it definitely is. Am I missing anything here? It looks like I got most of this highlighted. I could probably do something like this here though. Let's see if I, how's this look? Boop. That's super quiet for me in my ears because I turned down World of Warcraft. I don't think it needs to be that, like, any taller than that. Might not even need, is there a better shape than this? Yeah, a trapdoor wouldn't do it. The shape I can do better than this. A trapdoor wouldn't do it. Moving that. Yeah, that's gonna be two same ZZs. I wouldn't mind a way of like putting something here though. What if it were just, it needs to be something that stays in the center? What about like, An anvil. Not that way. Ting. Nah, that's too dark. Thank you. Oh, okay, I wasn't expecting that. That's too solid. That's not solid enough. Okay. Do. Put you there. Put you there. No. How about just you? That's just weird. I think that's just weird and a waste of time. I think if we're gonna do any, ooh, you know what we would just do is just where I have one right here, something like this. There's no need. Okay. We have all of this. We have all of this. That. What about everything inside? Looking good and selected. I hope. Let's see. If I do a Control X, it's gonna cut it. And then if I move this, we'll see if anything's left behind. Ah, yes. Fire and all of our candles. So we still have our magic. We still have our selection with our magic select. Let's. Where I put benches, I need to do the candles. It does not like selecting. I pressed the wrong button. Does not like selecting candles. Seriously, a full week of playing World of Warcraft, and I don't know how to like move around in Minecraft anymore. What is wrong with me? Candle. Candle and candle. And I have them in here as well. I don't know if I can select fire. We'll see. I might not be able to. Huh. Cool. 2 and there's number 3. Okay, now if we Control X, oh, some buttons on the door. Okay. Seriously, is this part of a solid shape? Okay, that was it. Now we can Control C. Ta-da! Control P. Northshire and Abbey. I do be the author. Haha. For our structure and well, we'll say kind of medium and temple maybe. Sure. Save. Is this going to show the right place? No. No, it will not. Let me grab the folder for it. Schematics? No. I'm in my .minecraft. I'm in maybe config, Axiom. Yeah, I found it. I found it. Need to grab the folder right quick. Bam. Teleport. Ta-da! I remember I'm facing north. That's kind of where the abbey, how the abbey sits, if I'm facing north. And for the first time, I think we're gonna go ahead. Well, we'll bring it down. Perfect. I didn't break that. And ta-da! We have our abbey. And next, we're gonna start painting. That's kind of what my big goal today is to just get an idea of what we're gonna put in where. So let's see the wool colors. Oh, I didn't know I could do that. That's cool. I'm gonna do a wool. Remove that. Not me learning how to use my tool. Is there a way to like select a lot? Hold on. No, shift didn't do it. Control didn't do it. Guess there's not really a faster way to build a palette. There has to be, right? Help, no. Keybinds, no. 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 Selection, biomes, annotations, rulers, show key presses. That's none of that's helpful. Select lock version. Oh. Filter, expand strength to start smooth. Edit. And no. I guess not. Okay. That's okie dokie. I will be running keys tonight though, Illy, just FYI. I don't think I'm slacking. I need to get degenerate, probably with Ecodome, so I can do exactly what you did. Just either get a helmet. Nope, I've got a helmet. I've gotten like 3 wrists. I got 2 perfectly good wrists, both with a prismatic socket. Didn't need that. Didn't need the other one. Got a ton of trinkets that I don't need, and a lot of neck pieces that I don't need. I need another. I'm pretty sure it's a helmet and hands. So I need a chest piece and pants, and I need to get a better mud. So as we start getting into like mythic, I need to make sure I have the oh crap, I'm gonna die button. All sorts of fun stuff. Okay, this is just the best, is setting up all of this. Great, let's go. Is there really not a palette tool that I'm like unaware of? I hope there is. That'd be lovely. But I use wool too much to not have it up on a hotbar. The magenta. Light gray. This is my go-to for like shaping everything. Light blue. If you can get it to look good with full blocks, you're probably going to be able to get it to look good with slabs and everything. So that's always a good like little marker. Okay, let's see. For roads, I'm thinking we'll just do orange. So for Northshire Abbey, ooh, this is actually a good time for me to learn mask. Mask only apply while the tools while the window's open. Yeah. And block equal grass should mean the only thing I paint is grass. See? That's what the mask does. And because like there's not just air above it, I won't paint that. And that's fine with me. Cool. Okay, so for the Abbey, it's pretty much you've got this big square right here. Gonna color you in. See my amazing drawing tools. How big is that? Because like from way back here, that doesn't look that bad, but from It's fairly sizable, actually. This is like really big. I need to bring this down a bit. I can do that. Oh. Maybe if we do it as a oop, yep, see, that's exactly what happens. Tool mask, edit, and we're just going to change this to... Oh, wait, actually, can I control? Ooh, I can, right to there. That's helpful. And if you do control right-click, you can just quickly resize like you can in a lot of other edit programs. So helpful. Okay. Grass. Orange wool. Let's see. I'm pretty sure. I'm kind of sure. I'm hesitantly sure that I have a means that I have an image of the front here. I don't know if I actually do. So let's open a reference image. Jumping back and forth between my blueprints and my not blueprints is a pain in the butt. Okay, I'm going to copy that address right quick. Oh, I'm already here. Perfect. I'm going to... move you right there. Ta-da. Oh, okay. I was wrong. You can kind of see right here, this is what I was going to do. So I guess it is just a road off into the yonder. So we'll make our little road right here. And then out here, it's actually more of just like some some dirt paths, just some desire trails between the trade carts here. Now, there's only 2 here. We'll see how that stays. Underneath this tree is a small training area. Over here is another tent. The idea was that they were shoring up forces at the garrison. This was post-Cataclysm. This is right after Deathwing had attacked Stormwind. And they're like, oh, crap, we need more heroes. And that's what we're trying to emulate. Let's see. If I got me up there... Let's bring you on down here for a bit. Actually, let's bring you here for now. That's helpful. Oop. Cool. So we'll bring our path out. I mean, it's kind of just a straight shot south because this is where it's going to head off into the gate. So you go through the trees a little bit and then it heads off into the gate over there. Follow the yellow brick road. Oh, I should have used yellow for these. But yeah, this kind of just will end up being our road, I guess. And we'll put trees along here for our desire pass. How well... Yeah. How about this? We'll do this. Because this is a mask, I can get real big and just do this really quick. We'll just do that. Yellow brick road for the main road. And then a desire path. Not me getting quicker and quicker at this. See, like right outside, we'll have our little garrison area. And this can kind of part off, and I guess right here. And this will be that training area right there. We're going to have a nice, bigger, more central tree. Right here, we're going to end up having a... how about gray wool to let me know that this is going to be something for... something a bit more... something that's part of the Abbey here. This is going to be our graveyard. So right about here, we're going to expand that a bit, make this the graveyard. It makes sense. It'll be a little bit more sizable. It is a little grim that people are training right out here. I guess just kind of Blizzard's lack of foresight. If I was going to redo this properly, honestly, this should be the stable right here. And this should have been the graveyard because that makes more sense that this would be the freaking graveyard. But I'm not going to exhume all of these bodies and then move them over here. So we'll kind of keep it where it is, which is technically nestled right here. It's a real small graveyard, but that does not add up to lore. So we'll make it a bit bigger, make it a bit nicer. And I don't know, maybe paladins like to fight in front of graveyards to remind them of their duties or something. Paladins are weird. We do need to make a stable right here, which will also probably include, like, why not a pig pen, a sheep pen, and anything else. Like, we could do like small farming right here. I think that makes a lot of sense. If we do a big stable and some pens, and then we can maybe even do a little building right here, and then into here we'll go ahead and get our desire path color. That was orange, to kind of show the roads between people working. Now it just looks like a sad face. Let's see. I think here, actually, it makes a lot of sense where it's not just desire path. It's going to be a bit better as, like, an actual path into the back. We'll do something kind of cobbled, kind of paved. That makes a lot of sense to me. And maybe even all the way into the back, we do a more manicured road back here. Then we do have, it starts to break back into desires. And I'm using desire, it just means a dirt road, a little dirt walkway, as opposed to something a bit more paved. But it makes sense that this would have been paved. It just kind of does. It's the graveyard. It's the stable. We'll see. We'll see what we do. We might make it kind of a mix between some, like, stone, like maybe someone just laid gravel out. And we have some dirt over here. As people, like, go off into the woods for their adventures. Yay. I think that makes sense. Let's see. Actually, no. Right here. Fatten this up a little bit. Make this into a bit more of a square, I think. And then here with the light gray. No, we'll recently use our dark gray. We'll do the one stand here, or like the cart here. We can do another cart right here, a little cart. This is probably pretty big for a little cart. We'll resize as we go along. We're just doing rough sketches. And I kind of think, you can see it here, where it looks more like a small camp. I think it makes a lot of sense. We do the carts here, and then we can actually do, think about it, like all the people that come out here to Northshire Valley to train, to trade. I think it makes a lot of sense. Kind of like a little, I know in some places of the world it's kind of like a derogatory term, but like a little gypsy camp, like just traders and wanderers, because that makes sense for this world. That's full of them. And like this is where people go to like make it a proper little campsite with carts. I think we can expand on that and not be breaking lore. We're already going to be expanding on this because right now, if you look, we go into the interior. We have like the central area, which I didn't realize at some point after Cataclysm, but not like immediately after. Because if you go into, I think Mop Classic still has a wall here. I don't know when they removed this wall, but at some point somebody came through and worked on Northshire because it's not there anymore. But we have these little prayer areas. That fire is loud. These little prayer areas. Coming into here, we have the war room. This is where the warrior trainer is. I'm pretty sure the paladin trainer is in here as well. I know the monk trainer is right here. It's Pandaren chilling out. My banner's stuck, but not the candles. Interesting. The library with the mage trainer and the priest trainer in their respective areas. The two libraries, but nowhere in this entire place. We have the broken belfry, no bell, because I don't know how I would build a bell here that wouldn't look ridiculous. But come back down. No place to sleep, and I'm thinking right here makes a lot of sense. Where we build this into a door, and then we go down. I can't go too far. I would have to pick this up, though, in order for it to go down. The whole build, that is. And then we kind of build everything up on a hill. So I need to do that soon. I guess before we dedicate... Well, like, I can still do all this plan, because I can just lift this whole area up. But I do have to build that soon. What we would want the under this to be. Kind of like a sleeping area. Kind of makes sense. And this will be a complete freeform build. It'll be completely us, all classic. I might just lift it up in the build back there and finish it out over there. But it's fine. I want to paint. I want to have an idea of what we're building where. I don't think the stable needs to get much bigger, but it's cool that it's there. Let's see. Are we missing anything? I know there's like a little quest giver that chills here. He's the guy who sends you off to kill wolves. Although he's not in this picture, so maybe he moved inside too with the marshal. And then yeah, you're supposed to have like little tents here that are showing that they're fighting the kobolds out here. I think we're going to expand on that. I don't think it makes sense the kobolds are right up here on the Northshire's butt. I think, or on the Abbey's butt. I think we want that further out there. We want that in the woods, which kind of brings us to the next part of this build, which is mountains. Northshire Valley is a valley, and they're big mountains. And World of Warcraft's weird in that it does follow some consistent geographical elements. As such, rivers flow down. They flow with gravity. They carve out and erode away rock and everything. But the mountains themselves make no bloody sense. And I don't remember. One second. But I don't remember if it was ever like officially canonized or if it's just a headcanon that I read somewhere eons ago. But I've always liked the idea that Neltharion, the Earth Warder, before he like the dragon aspect, before he became Deathwing and the Murderer, kind of hand carved a lot of the mountains in Azeroth. It's kind of the whole like the lore behind the aspects is they were very hands-on with creating a lot of the life on Azeroth. It's kind of like almost guardian deities. A lot of that kind of got watered down a lot the more we integrated with them, like the more we worked alongside of them. But I always like that lore. So it helps explain why you get these big, very unrealistic mountains, because they were just hand placed by big magic dragon thing. So let's see. There's a few ways we can do mountains. There are a few ways we can do mountains. These are not going to be the final form. They are going to solely be... I'm going to get rid of that for now. For quick sketching. Like, this is not where we're dropping all of Northshire Valley. I'm just getting an idea, getting it onto paper, if you will. So you could do something like the path tool, where you get an idea, like, so... with the path tool, you can kind of simulate how you would do it in survival by hand, which is you pick a point for your mountain, and then you build these lines, and you kind of scaffold the mountain from here. I'm pretty sure like someone like Fwip, this is how he does his mountains. You pick a place and you do this. And let's go ahead and click you there. And then most people end up doing something kind of like this, and this might be a bit too. So you know, you get this, and you'll get these different lines down into the ground, and be like, oh, all right, this is where, and you can definitely do this, and this still works in Axiom. So let's see how quick we get. We do that. Am I that far out, or is Distant Horizons just kind of bugging? Look how big this is. I mean, this is. Oop, nope, not that. This big spidery looking thing. But anyways, just to give you a quick concept, I'm not going to keep this. But you know, you scaffold it out. Oh, that was bad. Oop. I'm pressing all the wrong keys. My keyboard's getting in the way. I'm manic. But yeah, you can definitely do this. You can even then just take like something like this, and we change this to cone. We turn on our meta ball, because I love a good meta shape. Turn off the offset target point, drop this right here. And if we really extend this out and really make this bigger, and like this, oop, not that wide. More letting the height do the work. You can see real quick, we can kind of get some cool shape. Clearly, the scaffolding would need a lot of work. Clearly. You know what? Let me do this right. Give me 1 second. let me do this right. So let's see. Black wool. Black wool will help paint that out. And what we'll do is the painter tool. We are going to go ahead and open up our tool mask. Put that right there for now. And we'll paint all around our valley. No, man. I hate that. You're mine. I hate that. We'll let the mountains decide. So let's see. From down here, fly out here, and I think about here. And there is no real hard and easy rule to follow here, but I think about here. Nice and up and tall. Nice big mountains. We'll do gray wool. Put you there. All I want to do. And from here, gray wool. Oh, we want to make sure we keep our existing. I don't want to accidentally just erase ground for no reason. Let's see. Well, this is actually really pretty much on the ground, isn't it? Perfect. How does this look? Is that too wonky and weird? And you see, we can use this with a straight line. I think if we messed around, like a Bezier curve gets a little too smooth, in my opinion. Sometimes the line really is the best way. Catenary obviously would be a really weird. Catmull Rom, it's still a bit too curvy, and it kind of comes down to the kind of mountain you want, but that's a little too smooth for the sharp lines of a mountain. So we have a DDA, and we have, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of difference for us. I think the DDA just makes it a little thicker. Yeah, that's fine. We can use that. So we'll do that for one side. Go ahead, maybe we want this to be a bit sheer on this side. Why not? Maybe not that sheer. It doesn't need to be a pure drop off. We're also not making a table, so it doesn't need to be like 3 perfect sides. We're not going for triangle shape. We're going for just scaffolding out the edges here. Let's see. I really want to run keys. Here I am trying to build a mountain, and all my brain can think about is the fact that I need to be running dungeons as soon as I'm done streaming today. Let's see. I don't want to do that. We can get as detailed as we want. I don't know if I'm keeping all of this mountain, but there's that. And the cool thing with mountains is much like trees is that it's really hard to mess them up and make them look actually like bad. If I was really actually taking my life seriously, I probably would have had a reference image for this though. Look, we have like this scaffolding, the shape that we can kind of use. That's gonna be a big mountain. That's fine. Shape, cone, meta, boop. And look at that already. We can even just tell it to hollow. I really wish I knew the hollowify tool existed back in the day. One of my first builds with Axiom was with this. It didn't go well. Okay, we're gonna crank up the height. We're gonna crank out the diameter. We're gonna bring this down until we start breaking it again. Bring it back up. Oh, one of the things we can do. I really thought that would like latch on a bit better than that. Now what if we change this into a sphere? That sounds weird, I know. Bear with me. That's it breaking right there in the center. But because this is a super sphere, we can actually change that a bit by lowering our exponent. Maybe increasing the exponent? No, lowering the exponent a little. The sphere is a little too rounded, so we'll go, no. Go back to our cone. I would say going above 20 isn't probably something Metaball is a fan of. Oh, actually, before we drop that as a hollow, because we have the hollow phi function, let's keep this full so we won't hollow that. And the reason for that is when we come in and start chopping away at it. Like I said, there's a couple of different ways. You could do something like this where you metaball and you kind of just play around until you get the shape that you want. This one's just not working out how I was hoping it would. Or of course, you could do something where you just drop a big cone and you just shave away at it. Why is the metaball not working as I would like it to? Don't crash, Axiom. You got this. It looks like a bad alien thing. Probably because I built this mountain way bigger than I needed to. Let's see. Let's take you away. Let's grab you. Yeah, way bigger than it needed to be. If I'm over here, ignore that. That's Distant Horizons doing its thing. Well, maybe not bigger than it needed to be. Scale is so hard to figure out, especially with mountains. Way up here though, that looks super cute and quaint, so that kind of makes sense to me. Boop. Oh, I forgot the tool. Give me a second, chat. I'm just being dumb. I'm just trolling. If we do modeling, we can do flat surface, but actually we can take it to triangle strip, or even fan, or smart surface right here. Click here. Click here. Watch this. Click here. Look at that. Do something like this. And make sure it actually gets onto the shape right here like that. And then what we can do is maybe down to here and to here. And look how quickly we have some shapes. Maybe to here. We can put that to make sure it clicks into here. We can do smart surface, but we can also do like triangle strip. You can see and just play around and see what we get. Triangle fan? No. Probably gonna end up being smart. Yeah. Smart. Bam. For plow. Okay, so... Offset target. I want to get right up on it. As long as we stick to this, and then I'm going to click on here, kind of just put it here. Far from perfect, but we're getting there. Trust process. Complete. Keep placing some shape here. Oh. Missed this one, went in so far. Two, three. I know that doesn't look like much yet, but give me a second. Give it time. First things first, what I want to do is... Of course I did. Where did I touch the ground? Is it just over here? Magic select, block, up, down. Perfect. Now what I'm gonna do is solid up, down. Oh. Ta-da! Operation. Yeah, I was afraid of that. No? You're not gonna fill the gaps? It's rude. Why is it like that? Why does it bring it like way out? Oh. What if I do a sphere? And then we can do... I know that's weird, but we can actually... Because I can flatten it out like this. Actually, instead of that, you know what I haven't done it before is a sculpt. Oh, that'll do it. Looks kind of like terrible, doesn't it? Where's my elevation? Nope, slope. No. Do you that's literally doing nothing. Okay, it's probably because of this. Yeah, that's why. Okay, so if I want to do tool mask edit, block equals that. Wait. No, actually, I think it should be an or, right? That makes sense. Okay, yeah, that way I'm not on the grass. Cool. We learning. I've never actually really played with the tool mask or this, so that's actually really cool. Let's see if I... Ooh. I don't think the distort's gonna work because everything in here does... Yeah, see, because it's not actually a solid shape yet. Alright, Maze is learning an entire lot right now. That was like, for example, don't do that to build a mountain. I think there's probably like a way to do modeling tool and make a nice mountain, but I don't know it. I don't remember where height maps exist. It might be an elevation. Oh yeah, it is. Low height map. Do I have a height map? Stretch, you reduce. I feel like the viewer interaction is minimal. Ain't even reading chat. Wait, no, that all just popped in just now. My man's ain't even reading chat. I do see the stretch. Why didn't it go through though in my I need to figure out what's going on because my audio isn't going through for my redeems and it should. It really should. Test, test, test. I see you. That all just popped though. I don't know why I did that. It only just popped up. Oh, that was 10 minutes ago that went through and I only just saw it. What happened? Why did chat seize up? 5 minutes left on 12 Ecodome. Leader says 1 B res, don't troll when we pull last boss. Thinks getting his image is worth dying over. God, I'm never using Streamlabs. I don't know what happened. Normally it doesn't. I bet it's because when I was doing the big mountain part, it probably froze something. I've got to get my computer upgraded. And I've got to figure out why didn't that go through. It 100% should have. Give me 1 second to see that while we're here. Because I promise, I read chat. It only all just popped up. Viewer interaction's minimal. I know I'm garbage. Edit alerts. Give me a second. Send test alert. That worked out. You want your rubber duckies back on that stretch redeem? I will redeem it. Give me a second. Channel points. Right there. There's no sound on the channel point one. Are you out of your mind right now? That's why. Give me a second. Hold on. Ew. Hold on. That's the one. Add. Ta-da. Ta-da. I'm so sorry for that. I'm going to snooze my ads for just a moment. I just got that to work. Save changes. Thank you for redeeming Stretch, Illy. I appreciate. I don't know why that didn't, like, usually that screams at me. Now I feel bad. Let me see. Give me a second. Okay, that's fixed. Should be fixed permanently now. And working. Channel points. I want you to, like, be a master of all this when you get a affiliate. Where's the cut hair redeem? Never gonna happen. I love my hair. Do you have affiliate? No. No, this is all the... That's wild. That's all the stuff that comes in from the scene. One more test alert. We'll see. I gotta get a better chat box, though. That's useless and unreadable. And what I actually am going to do, because that's just not helpful, is I'm going to hide that. The chat for gameplay, because that's not readable at all. Just pulled out 50 bucks. Ooh, big monies. It's more than I make. I have no idea what's in my Twitch account. I'm going to let that sit there. I guess that's a savings account of some sort. Why do you think this takes away from the charm of building? I think this is charming. I think my trees are charming. Look at my charming trees. I've made so many. I think it depends on the kind of building. I think the charm will be there when I actually am, like, in the rhythm and have something I'm properly building. I'm not just testing things. Doesn't feel like Minecraft. I could see that. I would say it's a different kind of Minecraft. Like, there are people who are super old school about it. Like, this is also lightly modded, as you can see. And I went back and forth on that a lot, but yeah. To make a med mountain I didn't keep. It did. It took 20 minutes. But I would also argue that there are people who have, and I've done it by hand, and they'll take like 20 days to make a mountain, and they make it, and they're just like, oh, I don't like that. You know, I can show you that since you're chilling here and you're running keys anyways. Let me show you exactly what I mean. We're going to close that out for just a second. I'm going to load this up real quick. I'd cut the stuff like that out. Yeah, no, not the vlog. I don't touch the VODs. The VODs are the VODs. That's a live stream VOD. When I make the actual video, it's not going to look like that. It's going to look like a proper time lapse. I will go in and probably rebuild it by hand. Not in survival still, but it'll look good. I know how to make a time lapse look good at least. But let me throw this over and I'll show you kind of what I mean. Which one? So, for example, this is my big sandbox world. Look at that ship. I like that ship. I built this ship using Axiom. I was able to get all of these guys up and running. I'm still really happy with the ship. I'm definitely bringing this ship into the world. I might change the icon on the ducky here, but this is going into Azeroth because I think this fits World of Warcraft really well. And I'll add particles and stuff. I gotta learn how to do particles better. There are people who've built ships like this by hand. A lot of this I did by hand, but a lot of it I did with Axiom, and I was able to like keep like finagling it step by step really quickly. Let's see if I stop changing my hotkeys on every instance I own. That'd be great. See, Axiom's great for letting me do this. A lot of this tower was initially built by hand by a friend of mine named Axiom. She built this little guy. It's super cute. It was a really great tower, and I was like, oh, let's use it. And we expanded it up, and then we took out all of this artifacting that happened using Axiom. And we were able to like just keep finagling it until we got it to what we look like. And it's definitely a different type of building, but this would have taken months to get to like this, where it is over here pretty much done. I would say this is about 90% done, because I don't like these towers. I was running out of time for the build. But this would have taken months and months and months, whereas with Axiom, I was able to do this in a few weeks. And it really just lets me like get the ideas out and test things a lot faster. Because if I was doing everything by hand, it would have taken me a long time just to get this. Because I would have had to recopy everything. And it's not just like for towers and stuff. Hello, glass me. Took a couple hours. I mean, these took days. It took a long time for me to plan out this tree. It's just the fact that Axiom lets me get these shapes out and gets me sketching. Like, that was a really mad mountain. I admit it. I agree. This bad boy started off a lot smaller and blue. And I did the blue one by hand, and it only went out to, like, here. And then once I started getting more comfortable with Axiom, it's like, oh, I can replace it. And I did. This whole base, these guys were built by hand, but the tree definitely not. And it let me get shape up real quickly so I could test things out. And you can see I have a fondness for like doing stuff in stages and keeping backups of it. It just makes sense for me. I'm sorry I can only do the ads for so long. But here you see like this was my little base. The program looks smoother, it'd be easy to look at. The upgraded PC would help. A lot of it is kind of just watching somebody build something in a 3D program. It'd be like watching someone build something in Blender. There's pros and cons to it. It's a different... One of the issues, but also good things, is Minecraft is so wide and varied. You have people who build everything by hand. You have people who are very creative focused, people who are very redstone focused. I kind of dabble in a lot of it, but I like creative building a lot because like I really enjoyed building this up, but once I started getting it into survival and building it by hand, I burnt out. I don't have this built there. I don't even know if I have this rock finished in the survival world in the SMP that I was in. But like I really like what I was able to do here in Axiom, and that's kind of what kept pulling me further and further into building fully creative. A lot of this is also like you're seeing Distant Horizons. If I turned off Distant Horizons, it would look a lot different as far as like all of this fading. That's not Axiom, that's just Distant Horizons. But yeah, like, oh, that's my redstone area. This is useless. This is another one, though. I had a really large area. I wanted to plan out a big factory, and I was just kind of toying around. Because this was built by somebody, and it works. It's very functional. But I was trying to play with ideas of what to do with this area, and I was able to kind of like go through a lot of ideas and be like, none of this is working. And I was able to do that really quickly just to get some concepts down and figured out while sketching. I was like, it's not working. It's just not... Like, this would have taken me weeks by hand, or at least days, and it was nice. Your content is stuff I like in Minecraft, well, the root of my content. Yeah, time-lapse by hand. I plan on doing that. There are some other ways you can do it that help speed it up. A big part of what I want to do is make sure that I'm using time well. Because it's not just all the Minecraft stuff that takes up a ton of time. I play World of Warcraft. You've seen how often I'm online. So... like, all of this was done by hand. This little guy. But I don't need every tree in that Worldcraft world to be done by hand. I don't know if you're stuck in ads. You subscribed, actually. Thank you for that. But, yeah, I think I'm going to move a little bit more towards time lapses. I want to still figure out how to do some cinematic stuff. I'm very comfy with cinematics and time lapses. But yeah. Yeah. I do think it'll probably be a lot by hand and a little bit by not. Oh yeah, these came out bad. We were testing some stuff. A buddy of mine we're building some new trees. And you see, like, this was all by hand, but not every tree needs to be this detailed. And I was going through that with the Warcraft build. Let's see. Ah, yeah. All of this in here is before I learned Axiom. All of this is, well, not that castle. That castle was actually built by someone else. But all of this was before Axiom. I built all this by hand, and it took forever to build any of this. Yeah. So I definitely was able to start, like, picking up my projects. All of this stuff up here this was on a shared world my wife and I were playing on. This was all built by hand by us. And there's a charm to it, for sure. There's definitely, it's a different kind of soul. But it's just not the goal. Mm-hmm. Make a standard 10 by 10 house. I'm glad Quackbot roasted you for that one. I don't want to make a house. No, I'll be making, you'll see, like, whenever I go to do the carts and stuff like that, that's not going to be a lot of Axiom. It'll be a little bit of Axiom, but not like this. Yeah. And yeah, I have it set up to where my bot will randomly insult people. I love my bot so much. That's where all of my anger and rage goes into the bot. Boop. This place was huge. We had a full trading hall too. This is actually cut off. You don't see all of it because it wrapped around. Full trading hall with every single block, all these different farms, and a fully automatic sorting system. But yeah, I went from that to I wanted to keep pushing specifically the most creative parts of the builds. Let's see, do I have... No, I think this is just... Yeah, I was just playing around with something else here. Very specifically, I built something. It was an embassy from that base that I showed in the other world, and I put it underneath this tree. All of this was by hand. Well, most of it was by hand. You love cherry blossoms? Well, thank you. I think this is the new cactus flower, and I think it came out really well. Well, yeah, I love the aesthetic of the cherry blossom for sure. It's such a good aesthetic. And this was me learning particles. This was all by hand, kind of trying to learn falling particles. It's not quite there. I probably didn't need to do... Hold on. No. Yeah. Tinker. I didn't need to do all of this. You see, I'm probably done this. I don't know. I'm learning. But I like that I can quickly make copies and iterate. I was like, do I like it leaning this way? Do I like it leaning across? I ended up going with it leaning that way. Yeah, crossing it. I was like, I like that a bit better. It filled the space better than this did. That was too parallel. Yeah. Let's jump back over into the other one. That's it. Oh! Waiting for it to load. It's not super modded, but I went back and forth hot. Notice I kept it family friendly. You're gonna leave it open? Gonna go clean the house? Yes, I do appreciate you keeping it family friendly. I get it. I'm gonna keep fumbling around with mountains. I've built a mountain before. It wasn't very good. Height maps are probably the way to go. I bet you I could find a quick height map too. The height map generator. What can we get? Nothing that's not gonna cost me money. I can imagine. Oh yeah, these were the trees I was talking about. Where like they didn't need to be super duper highly detailed, specifically because he's gonna be off in the distance. We're gonna be doing this a little differently because this is gonna be put down with a stamp brush. If you think what I was doing was kind of cheaty beforehand, oh boy. Wait until we start putting down our trees. Do need to put out a mountain. I do need to start getting a mountain range around here. So I know like the mine has to go back there. We have a vinery over there, a little farm that's going to go there. A lot of that farm is going to be built by hand. I can't wait because it's going to be my first time using create in this build. Not just some of the create blocks, which is what that red is. That's not Minecraft blocks, that's create. But yeah, I'm excited. Let's see. Shape. Cone. Let's go very big, very big. Let's do the offset target point. Keep existing. I click on extended ground. Does that just go straight down? It does. That's disgusting. And then let's do our pivot to the base. That's definitely not big enough. Thanks, bot. Huh. How do I want to do this? We could do not extrude. Flood fill, fluid ball, elevation. Load height map. Do I have any chilling in here? No, not there. Axiom. Oh, there are a couple of default ones. That's good. Dunes procedural. Here. Okay. So what I'm doing, I'm going to load this, and this says Matterhorn. Betcha it's because of this. Ta-da! Okay. So in that case, does the height map affects the block that's underneath it? How do we want to do this? Do we want to just try to paint out where we're going to have the mountain range, and then we could do a mask and only lift that up, knowing that it's probably like we can paint out the base? That might work. So let's see. We do the painter. We're going to go back to our tool mask, edit, and we're going to do block equals grass, and then because I have this in here, we'll do gray wool. Okay, and let's see. I think the radius being about... That's a big radius. Let's bring it down. Okay, so I know there's a big mountain pretty much here at the edge. How far in? Oh, that's tough. We can always push all this back. Like, we can like pick it all up and move it a little later. It seems pretty big right now. It doesn't need to be like a 1-for-1 scale of the real world or anything like that. I just want it to be a bit bigger than it is in World of Warcraft, we have space to add more details. So let's see. Do that. The training center. The road might come out here a bit more. Okay, so give ourselves a little breathing room. And then we'll paint here. One big mountain, and then there's another one here. It's kind of just two big mountains and a big wall gate between the two. See, guys, that's World of Warcraft for you, and we might expand this a bit bigger, but it gives us a start. Let me think. And the Northshire is just kind of a big bowl shape. I can definitely grab. Final open reference image. Boop, boop. There we go. Got it. All right, so big old range, kind of a range. There's going to be a river over here, more range. And you can see just like a mountain here and like here. So the mountain there, this kind of turns into a full range that separates Northshire from a bit of Blackrock, but also Stormwind. How big do we want to make the range? The other question is, how big do we want to make the forest? All right, so a little area here. All of this be forest. It's actually pretty deep. Like, I don't even think we would load up in a normal road world, which is not the end of the world. Do. Play around, sketch around. I'll have to come back and clean up these mountains in a bit. I think this will at least get us an idea. Before I dedicate more to this, though, let's see what happens. Definitely make it bigger out here, no problems. Options, video settings. Details? No. Details, render, fog start multiplier. Put the ore there. Put that there. Block equals air. And our tool of the day is going to be elevation with our height map. And let's see, if I do... Well, let's just see what happens. Well, that's a quick way to get some shape for sure. He's like hard cut off right there, and that kind of makes sense. Dang, I like this though. Dang, I like that though. It is hard cut off there, so we'll have to, like, what we might do is either expand the painting here, or we'll come back through and we'll just smooth everything out. Bring the slope up to the mountain. Let's see, if we're all over here, does that look like a big scaling mountain or just like a big hill? Do we want to go taller is the question. And how does it look when we get trees over there? So I know this one's not going to be perfect. I don't have the stamp for all the other trees that I did over there, but that's okay. Clear that for a second. Block equal grass. Definitely need to work on getting my other trees in here and stamped out, but it does look like it's nestled in the forest, but I'd like to see more of the mountain. Elevation. Right, I'm just trying to see how tall do we need to see if we're going to see a bit of the mountain over the trees. Kind of like that. That looks towering. That's better. And obviously, we're going to need to push it back a bit to make this make more sense so it doesn't just, like, right there. We're going to want things to kind of build up into the mountain a little bit, make some hills maybe. So this is all going to get a bit bigger if we want to make it look like this from a distance. What am I at? What am I here for? Here. That's what I'm looking at. Here. Okay, very cool. It is very cool how quickly I was able to get something up. I don't mind these sketches. I think this gives me a better idea for how far, like how big I need to make this. I also want to grab some other elevation maps of different mountains, see what we can do to use that. Because like obviously before I did the big like peak here, like when it's like this, It honestly doesn't look that bad. And then what we can just end up doing is scaling this, just making this bigger by using better elevation maps and a better base. And we'll probably just do it in grass and then coming through and painting over it all in the gray. Excuse me. And then once we do that, we can start. I can also make better brushes because this is not good. That's way too repetitive and not working out for me at all. But I don't mind this. I think this little campsite thing right here is a good idea. I think expanding on the carts is a great idea. We can make this look kind of proper. And then we can do like a little dirt road through here. Once we get the trees here, we can kind of do a little dirt road. Another thing I wouldn't mind doing is the noise painter. So we're gonna, give me a second. That part I don't mind, but what we can do is also the noise painter, and we take and we make that grass noise painter. And you see here this, so if we do, let's see, like a green wool, a lime wool, maybe some dirt. And bear with me, these are not like long-term colors or anything like that. But with the noise painter, what you do is you get these patterns here. And if you do this with a maybe not a simplex. No, definitely not that. Like metaball. Good, the mask is working. So actually, let's take that somewhat seriously. Let's see. We do. Oh. We know moss looks great. Azalea looks, flowering azalea. Bushes look great. And you know what? Yeah, the green wool. I lie. The flowering azalea looked like garbage. But, ooh, you know what would work, though? Bam of the Boo. There we go. So you do this, and right now that's a little messy. So what we can do is we can take there it is. The scale, kind of like this. And what this ends up doing is making, like in a forest, you'll usually get kind of patches like this. You can start to see, like maybe I have like a small clearing here. It doesn't have to be something like it gets real messy close up for sure. But from a distance, it works really well. Maybe not the bamboo, because that does kind of sting the eyes a little. What's another good green block that's not just grass? I made a whole bunch of grass. You would think I would know. Like a green concrete pattern. Kind of like this. There we go. Like we can get a different kind of pattern on our grass where it's not just grass, and it works in a big way. And then we can go in with the noise paint or that with the stamp tool. And what we have now with the stamp tool is that we can use mask with it. So I can actually change this to here to the moss, and now it's only going to place trees where the moss is. See? And then maybe. I'm sorry, that was the green, which whatever. And then we can do another one with the moss. And look. Not that bad. Obviously, these are quick sketches. Like, it would need a lot more work to make it look better, but it just shows how much progress we can make with fairly limited amount of time. Okay. Let's see if I've missed any pings. I did miss a ping. Cool. All right. It is Monday, which is my light streaming day, and I just want to play World of Warcraft more. But also, I have a what am I trying to say? I have a team up. I have Allie coming by. She's gonna collab. She's gonna stop in. We're gonna teach her a few Axiom shortcuts, and I think this is gonna be one of them because she's also gonna help me build a mine. Maybe it might just be me teaching her some Axiom shortcuts and getting an idea of what she thinks for the build here. Let me bring myself back to my spawn, and so I'm gonna go ahead and probably call stream right here, especially since I already had technical issues, and that's sad. I missed some chats. I hate missing chats. But I'll be back on Wednesday, bright and early, a nice long stream. Hopefully I don't completely, like, destroy my brain, but... Oop, I pressed the wrong button. Yeah. For those who hung out, thank you. For those still here, also thank you.